Good morning, Britain. Can Boris bounce back? MPs investigating whether he misled Parliament over number 10 lockdown parties meet today to conclude their inquiry in the wake of the former Prime Minister's dramatic resignation. The Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove joins us after 8.
Nicola Sturgeon facing cause for suspension after she was arrested and then released without charge as part of an investigation into the party's finances.
They're vehicles which can easily do up to 30 miles an hour, but now MPs say e-bikes are dangerous and should have number plates. But why stop there? Should all cyclists and scooters be registered to use the roads? Let us know what you think. We'll debate that this morning.
Even when the odds have looked against them, they've united to come over the line of England.
And one for the soccer aid history books as the rest of the world team claim a 5th successive title with a 2-4 win over the Three Lions at Old Trafford.
And they're the kings of Sin City, but this morning, legendary duo Penn and Teller join us live here in the studio. Will they be able to cast us under their spell with a magic trick? Find out after 7.
After yesterday's heat, humidity and thunderstorms, more of the same today, but if the heat's too much for you, our temperatures moderate as we head through the week. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Monday, 12th of June, 2023. Live from Television Centre in London, this is Good Morning Britain with Susanna Reid and Richard Madeley.
Good morning, Britain. Welcome back, Richard Madeley.
Thank you very much indeed. I didn't come in on the bike. I drove this morning, but I tell you what, you kind of know in advance what subjects are going to press the nerve out there, and we've already been inundated with messages from people who do think that cyclists should be licensed, they should be registered, they should have number plates on the bike.
And is that motorists who are mainly saying,
yes.
Or actually are there cyclists who say that bicycles should be licensed and registered?
I can't see any prefaces here saying I'm a cyclist and I think that, so I think it'll be drivers.
So often, and too often, I think it is pitched as a battle on the road,
Absolutely.
isn't it, between motorists
Because sometimes
cyclists.
it is.
But mostly cyclists are also motorists.
Well,
so there's quite a lot. It's just that when you're in a car, you feel very differently about bikes than when you're actually on a bike.
Absolutely right. But if a bike hits you and does damage to your car, if they're not insured, and they're not insured mostly, where are you going to go? How are you going to get the damage?
The trouble is that most of the risk is to cyclists.
Of course it is, yeah, physically,
not to motorists, because you're likely to get your car damaged. But if you are hit by a car on the road, on a bike, you are properly at risk.
Your flesh is going to be bent, absolutely. But it really gets people going. So keep them coming, please. We'll debate that a bit later.
Well, Timmy Mallet is cycling in to tell us what he thinks. Standing up for the cyclist on 2 wheels this morning, so we'll talk to Timmy Mallet a bit later. Our main news, though, this morning is the MPs investigating whether Boris Johnson misled Parliament over number 10 lockdown parties. Will meet today because they are concluding their inquiry.
Well, the former Prime Minister, as we all know now, resigned as an MP last Friday, after receiving an advance copy of that report, which he's accused the Privileged Committee of being a kangaroo court. Our political correspondent, Louisa James, is in Downing Street for us this morning. So, Louisa, this committee has pledged to continue with their inquiry and come out with their findings, despite Boris Johnson's shock resignation. It's kind of business as usual for them.